Okay, there's also another video I want to add at the very least to watch, which is the Penguin actually. Most critical video. Most critical video actually talk about this. Let me find him first. There it is. I want to see his opinion about this.
I have no doubt most of you have noticed over the last 10 or 11 months I've been a lot happier. Glowing, really, radiant. You can tell probably just from my voice alone and this striking smile.
Sweetheart, you're still the same Jesus that I've actually thought about and being seeing the fact that you're being memed the same way. Sir, I am happy for you that you stayed the same and you felt much better. Jesus weak. Jesus weak. Okay, bro. Alright, bro. What the fuck?
So what is the
He
secret to
smile?
my voice alone and this striking smile?
That's gonna be my profile picture for now. I love him. I love Moist Critical. I almost spew all my food.
So
I
what is
love
the
his
secret to
smile.
this newfound happiness of mine? The
Yes.
one trick doctors don't want you to know?
Uh huh.
I haven't been online as much. I've been going
Mm-hmm.
outside far more frequently.
Bro, you're touching grass. That's insane. Oh my God, he's been evolved.
Spend
Sorry.
time in the real world. And as such, I'm sure many of you have noticed over the last 10
Excuse
or
me.
11 months,
I'm sorry, but this is definitely off topic. I just noticed his nose hole is entirely different from one another. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but like I'm sorry for talking about his nose, but it's actually it's poking my face right now. I'm so sorry. I love you, most critical. I'm so sorry. I apologize. He's touching grass. He is touching grass, but with not that nose, bro. He's been going outside and going into the shooting range. Damn, he did. Well, he does have. Okay, he did actually show off his actually big guns in front of Sneeko. So like, I wouldn't be surprised.
internet
Oh shit! I just realized you have the Broly figurine on the right. Shit. Yo, that's sick.
drama hasn't been a huge focal point of the channel because I haven't seen a whole bunch of it. I haven't kept up with the vast majority of it. And of course, occasionally I've still dipped my tootsies in some of it, like
Uh
if
huh.
there's something particularly wacky going
It's
on.
Charlie's world, and we're just living in it. Yes, I agree.
And I still cover
I
like
mean, it's just a hobby,
news
so
and
probably. Yeah,
crazy shit
I
going
can
on
see
with
that.
aliens and all of that kind of thing, or if there's
Mhm.
like a really cringe, prankster that got arrested or something, I'll
Uh
still
huh.
talk about that. But it's not like a fixation for me like it used to be over the last few years where I was covering any and all internet creator space hoopla. And I want to keep it that
Mhm.
way. I'm having a lot more fun not doing that. That
Okay.
being said, there is something
But that being said, something has called upon him to be attracted to something that he doesn't want to get involved. You're in his world. I have been trying to get in. Exilius, you already are in. What do you mean? Something summoned him is crazy. Bro just came out like a fucking Pokeball, bro. Bro came out from his hibernation like a bear coming out, trying to actually relive his own summer. He's just like, my hibernation is over. Damn it.
has unfolded here that's like the John Wick killing the dog moment that's bringing me
Jeez.
back just very temporarily. And it's pirate software.
Oh god.
Yesterday I talked about stop killing games.
And I did watch this video. I really did. I really did watch this video. And honestly, this video was actually insanely stupid from the fact that he was just misunderstanding and everything. It was crazy.
And there's no way to talk about stop killing games without also mentioning pirate software because of the profound effect he has had on that initiative in its demise.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna actually recap to you everything, but like, what I initially say is that I'm gonna recap to you again in short term is that parts of it make something talk about something about a stop killing game initiative. The fact that he talks about that and he actually misunderstood what the hell the initiative supposed to actually represents. Because of that, he make a video that was actually with 1.2 millions, and it actually did a lot of damage for the initiative to actually not be able to fulfill that movement at all. So it wasn't even actually halfway to the goal they wanted actually to be in, but it was very close. But since the movement is over, it could possibly said that the blame or like the cause of the failure would be landed on Pyro Software.
say demise, but it's not actually fully cooked. But it has been on life support, and Pirate Software did play a big role in that because
Mm-hmm.
of 2 videos he made, as well as a stream, shitting all over it.
Yeah.
And that's not even doing it justice. He was full blown tooting on this. He was shitting on it with some fart on top.
Excuse me.
And a lot of what he was saying about stop killing
Do you think Ubisoft paid him to say that? Brother, he doesn't like Ubisoft, but like, I don't even know if it does get paid. Well, good for him, I guess. But like, I don't know.
games wasn't accurate.
New content
It was a
roast, yeah,
misrepresentation of the initiative.
yeah.
And the guy behind it, the guy spearheading it, Ross, finally set the record straight on a lot of the misconceptions that Pirate Software helped to put out there and kind of exacerbate these thought processes that just weren't accurate for what the initiative was actually
Which is
able to
actually
do.
he did.
He finally set the record straight, and I, of course, wanted to talk about it as someone who does actually care about it. Now, as I've said, I've been
And don't get me wrong, everyone in this whole situation, no sanctuary included, are actually caring for games. Still, all of them are caring for games. Even Parasol for himself, he cares for games. It's just that the idea, the fact that like the some of the ideas of like the games related are having different opinion, but at the same time, it's not. It would have been better. It would have been fine if Parasol had said that he says no's and that he's okay with like having rental pays or like something like initiative, like the fact that publishers can actually own the game and do whatever the hell they want with the game itself. Sure, he can say that, but like he misrepresented it, and it was very off topic, and caused a lot of damage for the movement. And that movement was actually pretty good itself because he has a really good initiative of the vision. It really does, because like it could have saved some of the games that we have actually trouble to getting owned from, when the launcher literally wants you to go into their subscription even though you have to actually pay $80 for the game. No, you have to pay $80 for the game, but since it is actually $80, that discourages you to actually go into the subscription, and where they are heavily advertise that. And I'm not gonna say what company it is because you already know what it is.
a little more off
Not
the
Xbox though. Xbox I should go with it. Xbox Game Pass is actually really good, really good.
grid. I bought a fucking farm, so I've been, living off the Lord's land recently, and I've missed a lot of the internet happenings. So, Pirate Software's previous anime arcs of drama, like with World of Warcraft, and the one after that, 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 I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. I only got little tiddlywinks, little morsels of lore about it in a few clips, so I never really even understood what was going on there. So Pirate Software's response to everything that happened yesterday really caught me by surprise. That was a subversion of my expectations bigger than Game of Thrones Season 8.
Okay, all right. That was a good comeback. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, Hutcher, I did. I think it's really hilarious to me that that entire community is so butt mad at me for putting out a video 10 months ago
Why do you think that is?
about their stuff and then not being refuted, and now it's my fault that everything.
Well, technically, we wouldn't. In his head, it's not his fault. I totally agree on that, but it's fine. But like, you cannot deny the fact that you actually played a bigger role in this in this whole entire movement. Because like, look at the views on that video, man. Look at the videos. Look at the views on those 2 videos. The first video you have 1.2 million, and then the second video you have like 555k views. And then you say like it's not my, and then like you're saying it's my fault. Is it my fault now? Like saying like you got no bigger role in this? Man, what the hell are you talking about? Maybe it's a different way of him saying it, but like you know. It's like you make the cheeseburger that was so shit, and then you give it to the customer, and then say like, why is this cheeseburger so shit? And then you said like, I didn't make the cheeseburger. It's the McDonald's. What do you mean? I didn't make it. I mean, he was just the spark, and he was the spark who actually became the flame. He did become the flame. He did. Do you see the ratio on the like and dislike? 76k likes to 51 dislikes. There were people who were disliking it, but there is more people who actually are believing to his words.
Everything is going wrong for them.
I cannot believe his ego. His ego is so out of control, I feel like he's only a week or two away from exclusively referring to himself in third person, like Stone Cold fucking
Oh.
Steve Austin. And that's the truth, because Pirate Software said so. Some shit like that. It's crazy how he's responded. The smugness is nailed.
I love his sarcasm so much. Most critical, I'm talking about his sarcasm. I love his sarcasm reference, man. I'm so sorry. He kicks a pebble, it flew into a window of a nuclear base and hit the self-destruction button. And it's not my fault that the clothes didn't withstand the pebble. Oh no! I'm sorry. It's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. Oh, I can see why one of my chat actually say he doesn't like the Paris Affair. I understood why now. I can't. This is so sad because I actually was the guy who actually really wanted to actually like defend Paris Affair when he was actually in the World of Warcraft drama going around, which is totally an entire topic. Sure, I don't want to actually go into that, but like. Damn, this is the guy who's supposed to actually represent the gaming community itself. One is supposed to be respected representative for the gaming community, but he just misunderstood this whole entire thing.
On a chalkboard, it just makes you feel icky listening to it. And he goes on that same talking point multiple times in the clip about how, like, oh, I guess I'm fully to blame. I guess because I made those videos 10 months ago, it's my fault.
Bro, because it is! It is your fault! Because it is his fault, bro! How can you not acknowledge that? Oh my god! The ego!
Entirely.
That's what
the
he meant
whole
by the
thing
ego.
Crashed and burned. Yep. Oh boy. Time to play a sad song on the world's smallest violin for the Stop Killing Games movement. All
Where Mr. Crab most smallest violin at, bro? Look at Moist's face. I love Moist Critical Face, bro. He's so fucking goofy and I love him. I might actually put out as one of my profile picture. Dali, dear, I would love to put up my dearest face to be replaced with another man's handsome face on my profile picture on Discord. Sorry.
because Big Bad Pirate Software took it all down by himself. Like, it's crazy. No
Yeah.
one's saying that. Like, there is no one out there that is saying it is entirely Pirate Software's fault that Stop Killing Games hasn't been more successful.
Oh yeah, that is true. It's not entirely his fault, actually. I can agree on that. It's not entirely his fault, but he's the spark.
But there's irrefutable evidence that
Yeah.
you had a detrimental effect, a majorly
Yeah.
damaging effect on Stop Killing Games because of your misinformation that you spread about it in 2 videos and across all your streams, and not once have you bothered to correct that record. And
It's crazy. He didn't even do it. He doesn't even care.
has said that it has.
And you know what's crazy is the fact that like he actually tripled down on it, not double down, triple down in his Twitter posts, which is crazy. But just so you know, I might start calling you Jesus Week, but I'm brown. What do you mean?
Been refuted in 10 months. That
You should be calling me Gandhi Week instead, or Mahatma Week. I don't know.
is fish paste. That is turbo horseradish. Go to your own comment section on your videos to see everyone refuting you.
Yeah.
As well as the innumerable other gamers and voices out there that have taken down those talking points and debunked a lot of them and proven that you just didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And that is the big problem.
Because like he really did actually talk out the whole the first line that he talked about was actually like can we like the monetization can we actually allow the monetization of the game or like to be a functional playable state, and like it moves on into MMORPG and something like a multiplayer games. Like what the hell are you smoking?
No one hates
excuse me.
Pirate Software because he doesn't agree with Stop Killing Games.
No, I don't hate him. I just disagree with the fact that he actually pointed out something that is so off topic, and it was just really wrong. I don't hate him as a person, no. He's a cool person to look at. It's just that, like, how can you misinform when the guy who literally originally make the video 1 hour bloody long explain himself with so many things directly, very detailed. His initiative thought out, being very wrong off topic in your videos. How? If Shay grew his hair out, he might look the part. To be honest, you know what? You might be right on that. Do I have to start growing out my hair at this point? Do I have to stop doing that? Do I have to start doing that now?
The reason so
Jeez.
many people are angry at him, myself included here, you can disagree with
Oh,
the
maybe I could just buy a wig. I'll buy a wig instead. I'll buy a wig.
movement all you want. If you don't like the initiative, I'm not your fucking dad. You make your own choices there. But the reason
True.
so many people, myself included, do not like how Pirate Software is handling all this is he is refusing, outright refusing, to just admit any level of fault, that he was wrong about anything.
Somebody said shake your wig. Oh my god, was the guy shake your wig? Really, shake your wig? I'm just gonna buy a wig. You know what? I might just buy a wig.
And that couldn't be more clear from these clips as well as his tweets that he's made. It's actually his tweets that really sent me off the fucking rails here, off my gourd. Let's start with this little
Oh
nugget here that
god!
he deleted
Oh god! He's really bringing up the fucking tweet. Oh my god!
from last night. So he tweeted directly at Ross, the guy behind
Oh.
Stop Killing Games, talking about how he made those videos 10 months ago, and since then, his community has been nothing but hateful. A scourge.
Why are you talking about that as if that's actually not something that you already know what the internet does the best? Calling the community toxic when you don't even know the fact that you're doing it wrong. What the hell? What the hell? Again, that is so funny.
Tyrannid threat that he must destroy. Your community is fucking rabid, and it's shit to deal with for anyone on the other side of the argument. Why-
Well, welcome to the fucking internet. What the hell? You know what part of it actually reminds me of? He literally reminds me of that literally boomers who literally thought about Islam is all about all the stereotypes that was actually brought up upon from the internet, and he just reads everything from Twitter and just say like, you know what, that's factual. You know what? And nobody can change my mind on that, literally at all. That's what Paris offered to me right now, unfortunately, and that hurts me for saying that. To be honest with you, it really does. And I don't like it for saying that because I always look at Pirate Software as a more intellectual person to actually look upon, literally, because he knows more than I do when it comes to making games. He knows more than I do when it comes to like trying to provide a game, and I always took his advice very seriously. Very seriously when it comes to like making content, when it comes to like trying to appeal an audience with his own talks or opinion. I totally love him. But like now it just really diminishes the fact that he does feel like he actually like an actual boomer. Because this is actually a boomer. Because this actually is a boomer attitude. And can't believe I'm saying boomer for the love of God when I'm actually 24 for the love of God, man. But like, damn, he really is. You actually already have the beard? Oh, really? Sorry.
You think I haven't talked about this shit in 10 months? Why do you think we auto-mute anyone bringing it up in chat? Because it's been
Because you were wrong.
rage.
Because you were wrong. You were wrong. People saying that you were wrong, and you never talk about it from the very beginning. Of course, people are gonna bring it up.
And shit flinging the entire time, and just goes on about like how he is the victim of Ross's toxic, terrible community, which is hilariously hypocritical coming from Pirate Software, when in his videos and his streams he makes it very clear and is very rude about how much he dislikes not only Ross but the movement. And it's
Touche. He played a card. He played that card. He played that goddamn card. Like, oh, you mean, oh, your community is so toxic, brother. You're toxic yourself in the fucking stream, dude. Dude, I genuinely think that I am toxic. I'm just saying right now. What's funny is the fact that I am toxic myself, and I will always acknowledge I am toxic. I have always been toxic on the internet, and people keep saying if there's a community outside of my community who is also toxic, I think that's very normal to that. That's very normal because this is the internet. Welcome to the bloody internet, fam. It's fire with fire. What do you get? Another fire, but bigger. I can attest to that. Shut up. Shut your ass up. In a few days, I've watched you. Yes, I agree. What the fuck? You know what? Now give me one goddamn example right now. You piss off. I will. I will. I will. I don't know what to say actually. I want to be toxic, but I can't be toxic right now because I feel so. I feel so exposed from you guys for saying that. Bloody hell! Acceptance is the key. I guess I am exact. At least I am. Like you know what I'm trying to say is that like I won't say the fact that like oh your community is toxic without knowing the fact that I am already am toxic itself. I know the limitation of toxicity when it comes to the internet. There is always a barrier for everything, you know. But like toxicity is like a normal thing here. Literally, what like why are you being why are you being a Karen here right now? What the hell do you mean by that?
It's not like he's being very professional and polite about it, you know, buttoned
Yeah.
up. Listen to it.
So this was my first encounter of him.
Uh huh.
Oh shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
Yeah, that alone. Wait. Do you say like I'm gonna let people actively not to go involved with this?
Shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
There you go. There's the evidence. There's the evidence that you actually played a role here. You even if you don't actually tell people to actually back this one out in real life, the fact you say that line itself on the internet is already enough to be convinced the fact that like, oh, you know what, maybe he's right. I don't want to actually back this one out. You know what? I'll follow him. Goodbye innocence. Goodbye to him. Goodbye. Literally. How can you? That's the what the? Oh god. Oh god, bro. Oh god, that is insanely bad. Oh god. It's like Asmongold literally like can you imagine Asmongold when people actually tell him he's dirty, but Asmongold literally say, no, I'm not dirty. It's clean. What do you mean? Everything's just fine. No, that's not Asmongold. That's part of software. Sorry, maybe that's a bit too rude of me for saying that. I'm so sorry. I don't think Pirate Software is gonna watch this video, but I do apologize. I didn't mean to be mean, but like then again, you represent very wrong way of here. It's actually not a perfect way for doing it. But like again, this is very bad. This is very bad for From Software.
That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. No, eat my entire ass.
Yeah, that alone is already literally ate my entire ass. That's rude, bro. Like, how can you not tell me that's not rude? That's rude. That is not very nice to say that. We're living in the internet nowadays. We're living in the internet. The fact that we can actually feel so comfortable. The fact that we don't need to actually worry about our way of saying things on the internet. I can say shit almost every damn time on the internet, and I don't need to feel worried. But like then again, you cannot deny the fact that that is very very rude. That is very very rude. Literally.
Level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I dropped the mask entirely.
Damn, did he actually really cut all of the clips just to actually see like to try to get clips of him being rude? Damn.
I have no qualms about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing. That sounds stupid as shit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Ross and his community that are actually the assholes here. Bro, come on, you can't possibly be calling the wambulance with a side of French fries here about people being mean to you when you are literally the one that started with and name calling. And by the way, Ross never even addressed this for 10 months because he didn't want to dilute the initiative into just having it be boiled down to drama between creators.
Yeah, that's a very good way of good thinking, Ross. The person who doesn't want to actually talk about this from the past 10 months is because he knew this whole entire thing with back to back with the creators with he knows most critical is going to be involved in this, but he doesn't want to have quarrels at all. But like now it has to be said, literally. And honestly, I don't blame him, but I kind of wish he did say it sooner. But at the same time, what's the point of me saying it anymore at this point, right? I'm just saying. It's a good initiative. How come I never knew about this? How come I never actually watched this initiative from the very beginning? I feel so stupid now.
I think it was actually very big of him. The only reason he's talking about it now is because it's at the end of its life, and so many people still don't understand it because of someone like Pirate Software misrepresenting it. So he's finally setting the record straight there. Anyway, he did delete that
Yeah.
tweet, but just a little while
Wait, did he?
ago, he made
Wait.
a new tweet. A very
Wait. Did he actually delete the tweet? Oh shit, wait, I just realized this is a different video. Wait, hold on. Stop. I put out two videos disagreeing with an initiative 10 months ago. I want to talk about an initiative of this initiative. You're blaming me for 33 minutes of the hour long. Really covering it, your community is out. Oh shit. Wait, I realized this is actually a different tweet. Oh wait! Because I saw this tweet yesterday. I did saw this tweet, not yesterday actually. I saw this tweet in the morning. Oh shit, wait. Oh, okay, so this tweet is actually deleted. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, let's actually go back to the other tweet that he actually pulled up.
because of someone like Pirate Software misrepresenting it. So he made a new tweet, a
Okay,
very
any
long
tweet.
as well as a series of tweets under it.
And then he actually talks about like the fact that why he left the AAA studio and why he's giving himself excuses why he's actually bringing up the topic that he talked about, which we still do not understand why you talk about that. Why like what the frick?
regards to this whole thing. And in all these words, all this mumbo jumbo, not once does he say he was wrong about anything. In fact, he just continues to double down, even proudly stating he is doubling down. Wow, how incredibly noble. Doubling down
Exactly.
on things you are provably, blatantly wrong about. We don't need to hit the Jumbotron for the replay on yesterday's video going over
Oh,
so many of the
God.
things that he was incorrect about in regards to the initiative. But the point is, that is an issue.
And
That-
he did apologize. He only apologized the fact that he was being very emotionally lashed out about Ross, which at least he actually did apologize that. But that's not the whole point. People are still gonna be upset at you because you didn't apologize the fact that you're misrepresenting the whole entire idea differently. That's it.
that I really
Guys,
thought-
can you guys even understand me for saying something on stream? Because I feel like I'm talking way too fast right now. I'm blaming the coffee, but at the same time I blame myself. Sorry.
thought that he would address, be like, hey, yeah, I did get this part wrong. You're right, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to misrepresent it. I still don't fully agree with it, but I do recognize that I had some errors here in my coverage.
That is entirely different. Yeah, that's an entirely different take that I can actually be respectful. I can agree with that. Let's hear that. Let's hear the what if Pirate Software actually changed something from the tweet, but he still disagreed. Just change the wording.
For so many of the things that he was
Let's hear it
incorrect
properly.
about in regards to the initiative. But the point is, that is an issue that I really thought that he would address, be like, hey, yeah, I did get this part wrong.
Yeah,
You're
like this is the part. Sorry, I took a while. I don't know where it starts from.
really thought that he
Hear
would
it.
address, be like, hey, yeah, I did get this part wrong. You're right, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to misrepresent it. I still don't fully agree with it, but I do recognize that I had some errors here in my coverage.
That is much better. That is much better to actually know. The thing is, it's not whether or not we hate you or dislike you for the fact that you disagree with the movement or not. It's the fact that we don't like the fact that the way the fact that like you represent the movement very wrongly. You get the idea wrong. That's the problem. It's not whether or not you agree to disagree. That's a fine thing to actually. Everyone has their own goddamn opinion, right? Everyone has their own opinion. We can't really deny that. That's okay. But it's just that in the end of the day, you just get it the wrong idea of the whole entire thing. To be honest, I'm doing some work right now, so I'm just vibing with the yaps. Is that man emote? What the hell? Bro, this whole entire video of me yapping is gonna be on YouTube, by the way. I'm just gonna put it on YouTube.
That's what I was expecting. That is not what we got. And it prompted me to reach out directly to him, to talk to
And
him,
he did.
to see,
He
like,
did.
why isn't he acknowledging that? Is there a reason? Like, what is going on there? So I did. He made it very clear he was not very happy with my coverage of Stop Killing Games, which is fine. I think that's totally fine. I'm
Yeah.
not going to leak DMs or really go in depth on our private conversation, but
We don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need you to leak the DMs at all. To be honest with you, it's fine. If people want to see the DMs, fuck you.
me reaching out to him was to talk about
Sorry, I think I said that way too fast. If people want to actually see the DMs, no, just say no.
his refusal to acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
that he did, maybe unintentionally, misrepresent Stop Killing Games, and it led to a just shy of 2 hours, like, circular argument that ultimately got us nowhere. He was
Oh no! So he did. So there was no end of it. Oh god, that's actually really bad.
more focused on his qualms with Stop Killing Games and really liked to challenge me to prove him wrong about some of his hang-ups with it. And when I would mention
Did he even watch the whole entire video? Did he even watch the whole entire video? What? Like I said, parts of it is a boomer. He has the boomer attitude. That is nuts. Even after watching the most critical, the John Wick himself on the internet, literally explicitly explain in detail about this whole entire thing, and he still not only tripled down, he actually quadrupled down on this whole entire thing.
like the behavior aspect, like, hey, you did misrepresent it, and I'd give him a timestamp. He'd then instead say how I'm wrong for thinking that he misrepresented it. We got nowhere. So I want to just
shit.
publicly say this again. There are plenty of things you can disagree with when it comes to the Stop Killing Games initiative.
Yeah.
I'll put links to it if you want to learn more about it, and you can form your own opinions on it if you want to support it. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's super normal. And I didn't reach
Exactly.
out to try and champion that Pirate Software should become, a huge ambassador of Stop Killing Games, out there on the fucking front lines.
He can become the governor for it, for actually fighting against this whole entire movement. I don't mind that as well. Literally. Whatever.
For it. It had nothing to do with that. It was simply about the misunderstanding that he showcased.
He's aiming for the Earth's core is insane. That is very ambitious, I would say.
Maybe unintentionally, and the misrepresentation of it that he broadcast. Again, maybe unintentionally. Which has, in turn, over the course of 10 months, misled people on what the fuck Stop Killing Games even is in the first place.
10 months, dude. Can you imagine that? 10 fucking months. Of people who literally misunderstood what the hell is Stop Killing Games even supposed to be. That alone was enough to actually, 10 months. That, come on, you can tell how long 10 months is, and that alone was already set people's mindset to actually not do what the hell it's supposed to be. The damage is there. The damage is there. You nailing onto the coffin for 10 months. There's no more coffin in it. What do you mean? There's no more coffin in it. What the fuck? What the hell you're nailing at? 10 months, dude.
Which I found to be a problem because he's never even acknowledged that as something that has happened.
Yeah.
And because he refuses to acknowledge that, and anyone that even, tiptoes around that subject, he kind of treats as though they're fucking idiots, like me, for thinking that he's misrepresented something.
That's the thing. That's a very bold way of saying it because he already pulled up the timestamp talking about a couple of things because I know Most Critical actually watched most of the videos because he does watch the videos so that he can actually form an opinion. Don't get me wrong, there are times where I disagree with Most Critical's opinion about a couple of things, but most of the time when it comes to gaming, he really knows what the hell he's talking about, and he understood more than most people does. So the fact that Pyro Software actually disagree and saying that he's actually wrong what he is trying to represent off, it's a very ludicrous way of saying the fact that he does actually act like a boomer, because the original video of this whole entire movement actually was released with a 1 hour long statement. I haven't watched that video yet. I don't know if I wanted to because 1 hour is taking way too long of my time. I will probably watch it on a brand new stream or something like that, maybe one day. But again, if anybody can actually correct me if I'm wrong, this is so far right now, it's very blatantly misrepresented in Pyro Software's perspective, and it's crazy because and he's quadrupled down on it or triple down. I don't know. You can look at it however you want because like I just don't get how can you actually think that the fact that that is misrepresented when you definitely are moving away from the whole entire topic. Because like the way he talks about a couple of things, it just doesn't make any sense for me. I get it, maybe because I'm not a game developer, but like the way I'm seeing it, it's completely off topic. Maybe they're not actually. Maybe parts of it doesn't actually like pull up the whole entire thing properly. But like then again, people are not the game developers. In the end of the day, they don't know. Like who cares? Literally, because like the whole like I would recommend you guys to actually check it out. This whole entire thing if you want to. But like that's up to you.
Now, he did just post a tweet where he said he talked to me and Josh Strife Hayes, and in that tweet, this will prove how useless our conversation was, unfortunately, there's not a single peep about misrepresenting what Stop Killing Games was about. It's more so about how the public just doesn't understand game development, and it kind of reads to me like we're all just too stupid to understand it from his side of things.
I can agree on that. Here's the thing. I am so sorry, most critical. I actually stopped in this frame. I am so sorry. Because of that, I'm gonna take a screenshot of his face right now because I love it. Also, this is also another thing that pissed people off is the fact that like he acts like nobody actually understood it on his own side, which is not a big problem. Kinda is because like he's trying to say the fact that like make a game is hard. Same goes to but the thing is that like making an art is hard. Trying to get a job is hard. Trying to pay a game that is like $80 that you're supposed to use that money for your own self is a very tough decision. Literally. And the fact that you know what's even crazier is the fact that you actually use World of Warcraft pay monthly is even hard. That is also very stupid. It is crazy because like can you imagine you working on a minimum wage and you still play World of Warcraft? If you love the game, sure, I don't mind it, but like I would not pay monthly for that game, bro. Like the thing is that like in the end of the day, people will know it is hard. It's just that like they don't like the fact that you telling your they don't like the fact that the guy who is literally telling you guys are stupid. That's it. Making games are hard doesn't justify not owning the game. Exactly. But then again, he's not talking about owning the game. He's saying about making games are hard uh, 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 because sorry. Let me actually rephrase that. Making games are hard, but it doesn't mean that doesn't justify the fact that making a game into a playable state only on offline servers. That's what he has in mind. Not owning the game. That is entirely different because like again, we have publishers nowadays that are actually trying to own and trying to take away your rights from the game. This is why Steam is still good, all right? This is why it's still good. Steam technically doesn't tell you that you own the game unless you violate a TOS, TOC, terms of condition or something like that. I don't remember. Or they like, broke the rule. As long as you actually didn't do that, you actually at least own the game that you have. They will never retract everything. They will never retract your game rights at all. Because like literally, if you watch the previous video, most critical literally talk about how Blizzard, Ubisoft, and some other companies literally like will be willing to actually take your rights away when even when you paid the game for no reason at all. They can literally, that means like they can actually take away your rights anytime, any day, literally. Okay, sorry, correction. It's not from Most Critical Video. It's actually from Ross Video. I'm so sorry because they all both look the same to begin with. They both have long hairs. I'm so sorry. Uh, but again, the problem here is that like people are hating on forms of Pirate Software is because like he makes the tweets about like saying literally that you guys are stupid, and I'm literally telling you that like I am in this space of gaming industry for much longer than you are, so you guys need to actually understand what I'm saying. Sure, buddy, sure, but I don't see you making Elden Ring. I'm just saying, I don't see you making Elden Ring. Or nor do I see you making I don't know Assassin's Creed for me to hate on. But like maybe he is as a part of people who actually make it StarCraft or something like that. Sure, I don't care really. But like, but at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that like it's not good to have you when you're actually the cause of the problem telling people that there are not understandable what is that like in their life in your own life. That is not a good thing for you to say that. I get it, it's hard, everyone is know it's hard, but that's more off topic, entirely off topic.
Our conversation basically amounted to toilet paper, unfortunately. Again, I was focused on you have done this, maybe unintentionally. You should at least say that you have, or like, are you aware that you did this? And then it became more of
Excuse me.
like, nope, I didn't. You're wrong. And then he uses our conversation at the start of this for something that was not even the focus. I was not there to try and convince him to be part of Stop Killing Games. I don't think we made any ground on like his perspective versus mine on Stop Killing Games. He has some qualms about how difficult it would be in certain cases. I agree with that, for sure. I still think overall Stop Killing Games is a net positive for the gaming industry where something desperately needs to change with a lot of these awful practices.
I agree.
But for the 10 millionth time in the last 2.5 hours, it was just about him having this awareness that his coverage did mislead people and that he, maybe not maliciously or anything, misunderstood or misrepresented Stop Killing Games in numerous instances. And the way that he talked about Ross was unacceptable. That at least made it into the tweet there about the way he talked about Ross being like a fucking used car salesman type deal and like calling everything about it ass. He at least recognized that that was too harsh. So he gave a quick "I'm sorry" for that, which is good. I do appreciate that, and I'm sure Ross will appreciate that as well, I imagine. But I still wanted to make this
I don't know
video
about that. Oh wait,
after
I
the
didn't mean to do
conversation
that. My
because
bad.
I just really do not understand. I truly cannot wrap my head around why he fights tooth and nail coming for throats for anyone that tries to mention that there was misrepresentation in his coverage of the Stop Killing Games initiative. He is so hell-bent on proving he's right and everyone else is wrong that's saying these things. I just don't get it. He's just treating it like he's got the mega mind,
What's even crazy is the fact that
galaxy.
even after all the explanation, I still don't understand what he's trying to say about it. Like, it's like what I'm trying to think about. Like, we're talking about owning a game, but he's talking about multiplayer games that are trying to actually be more single player games. And that was the first line that I heard, and I immediately like, nope. Immediately, I don't want that. Because like he talks about that as things that are not really included when it comes to like owning the game, which is weird for me. Like making a playable function state doesn't really mean supposed to make a multiplayer game. Shifting that multiplayer game into a single player game it doesn't mean that you have to play the game offline. We get it. There are multiplayer games out there that are actually needed for you to access online. We get that. We have free to play games that are actually heavily inspired in multiplayer games. We get that, and you can't play those games in offline. No matter what you do, it would not be fun at all. We get that from the very beginning. It's not that we are talking about.
Brain that no one can possibly understand. All us plebeians are beneath him, and we're lucky that he even graces us with streams, and we're stupid for thinking that he did anything wrong here in regards to his coverage of Stop Killing Games and what it's actually about.
I know. Also, like, I know I've been keeping on repeating a couple of things already from this whole entire thing. I'm just gonna say right now, I may be a little bit unprofessional when it comes to this, but but I think people should really just understand the fact that like owning a game is a thing that we should really have. Like you pay for it, you take it, you own it. The end of the day, that's a really good concept for like making good practices with the consumers. Literally, literally, like for example, right? I like for example, I bought this Gundam. I literally bought this Gundam, and I bought this Gundam for like I don't know $10 or something like that. And then like they say like all of a sudden one day they knock on my door and they say like, hey, we want the toy back, even though you pay for the $10, but we wanted the toy back because like you don't technically own them, but we can actually freely to actually take them away anytime any day. It's like come on, dude, I didn't pay rental for this shit. That's not good. That's not very good practices. Literally, what a shitty practice. And I keep repeating myself over and over again this whole entire video. Literally, I'm so sorry. I wish I could talk more than this. I wish I was more experienced when it comes to like trying to talk more when it comes to like owning a game or something like that. Not my Gundam. Yeah, not your Gundam, bro. Not yet. Nah, you don't own your Gundam anymore. That can you imagine how shitty that business practices is? Because what's even funny is the fact that when you buy a game, it's different than rent a game. It's very different because like you own the game and you can actually access your game anytime, any day, any week. You can won, but like it's very shitty practice the fact that you only have a time limit to actually play the game, and I don't like that. It's not because like it's like maybe it's just me, but like it's more about fighting against the time than enjoying the game. And I don't like that personally because like I feel like I want to actually at least at the very least, I want to actually experience that I paid off properly for my game. I want to feel satisfied with my purchase, you know? And that's just me, personally. I rather own the game itself. If it's gonna be rent a game, then lower the prices. I understand. I agree. That's why Game Passes from Xbox is the most friendly consumer ever, and it will always be friendly consumer because you can not only you're paying like quite lesser than a normal game. You actually have a whole month to access more than one game, more than 10 games actually, which is a good practice for Xbox. It's a good thing. Very nice. But for me, but this is more like other people's opinion. I get it. But like, you have this other company that said like, no, you don't own the game. You can actually buy the rent the game, which is the same price for Xbox, but only for one game, which is not really good because like technically speaking, publishers can have their ways of whatever they want with you whenever you bought an $80 game. Because like you have the Ubisoft who says like the people should be really used to not owning a game. Brother, we don't want to hear that. It's like here's the thing. It's like it's like it's like we know the reality of the world. But the problem is that like we don't want to hear it from you. Like for example, like for example, I don't know how what kind of example I want to think about. For example, I'm unemployed. And all of a sudden someone comes into my life and says like you need to get a job, man, so that you can make a living. And then like you gotta face reality. And then like and then you're telling me while I'm actually suffering being unemployed, I'm like I know, bro. They hate. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm a little bit off topic, but like what I'm trying to say is the fact like there are some people who doesn't like the fact that you telling them that's the truth. But then again, the idea of like what you're trying to say here is completely seems like it's being abused. It's like the fact that like there's a lot of shit going around in the future that you'll see it coming to your face. Maybe I'm talking way too much, but like we should continue first.
It's just so odd to me. Because if he would just come out and be like, yeah, you know what? Looking back on it, really reflecting, hearing what you guys are saying, I can see why this was so misleading for so many people. I didn't mean for it to be. And yeah, maybe I misunderstood some of these things.
Appreciate you, Kai.
This would not have been nearly as big of a deal as it has turned into.
It
And
wouldn't be.
I went back and looked at some of his previous dramas, I suppose, and that is a common
Excuse
thread
me.
with pirate software. Like in World of Warcraft, he made a mistake.
Oh, we're gonna talk about WoW, that WoW drama. Listen, guys. The WoW drama that he had before, I was defending him actually. I actually defended Pyro Software in his play for his place because I don't think he actually did the wrong thing in in the WoW drama. And and this is coming from a guy who actually likes Pyro Software. I do. But this one, I will not protect a Pyro Software in this whole situation here, which kind of makes sense, you know. But I'm just saying it.
Mistake. But he completely refused to acknowledge the mistake, and it made it a much bigger snowball into an avalanche for
Maybe
him.
it was a mistake on his part. I'm so sorry again from software. I am so sorry. I was about to say from software. I'm so sorry. Was critical for posting in the wrong moment. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm just going to screenshot that as well.
Which led to a ton of other problems. He just has this inability to, like, except that he can make mistakes. Like he
From
does
critical,
things
yeah,
wrong sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
And he
yeah.
needs to recognize that it's okay to be like, yeah, I did do that wrong. You're
Yeah.
right. I
He's
was
gonna name every name in his brain library. He's probably wait, is it me or him?
incorrect in this. And it would save so much of a headache. But he just comes across as a narcissist. He really does, unfortunately. Like,
Because like after seeing this whole entire problem, me? Oh man, leave me alone. Okay, put that one aside for now. Because like right now I'm actually realizing something. I'm realizing something that during that WoW drama, it's crazy the fact that like I defended him. Sure, he wanted to run away because he's playing WoW hardcore, right? WoW hardcore is supposed to be very hardcore, and if you die once, you technically cannot go back to the server or respawn at all. You lose all progression, literally. You'll probably come back again, but you will be level 0, literally. So so that was hardcore, and I actually defended him because like he was running away from a very devastating blow from a very tough enemy, right? So everyone in his group literally almost died. Not almost died. Some of the crew already died, but like prior software actually first was the first one to actually run away. I defended him because like sure we can play safe however we want. Literally, I don't have a problem with that. I play safe. I would. But like I realized something in this whole entire thing is that like in this whole entire thing, he didn't say like maybe I could have actually done better. I am sorry for not actually doing. I'm sorry for not being a good team player. But I just have to save my character because that's what I feel like in that moment, in that time. He didn't say that. He said like nope, no. Why am I in the wrong? No, like you guys are dead. I can't really actually go there. No, we did wrong. Literally, I can agree the fact that this whole entire thing wasn't his entire fault as well. But like the way he actually approached this, I just realized the fact that he didn't feel sympathetic in some way to his own teammates, which is I never thought about that, but now I'm realizing it. Yeah, he's definitely narcissistic in some level, which kind of sucks for me to actually realize that now.
I'm not an armchair Reddit psychologist here going to diagnose him as a narcissist or anything, but like that's what it comes across as. He just refuses to admit that he ever does anything incorrectly. It admits no faults of his own ever. Except, I suppose, to Ross here, which maybe this is the beginning of a big character development for Pirate Software. He did apologize to Ross for how he treated him and what he said about him. I think
Only at
that's
one moment though.
great. Would love to see that same kind of energy for understanding where people like myself are coming from with your coverage of Stop Killing Games and
Yeah.
why people feel the way they do about what's happened since.
And he has to be giving out a good reason for people to understand in his shoes. We get he's actually the game developer and get making games are hard, but like that's not the whole entire thing that people are actually trying to understand. It's why you actually misrepresenting. They just want you to actually acknowledge the fact that you kind of did actually accidentally misrepresenting something.
responses. But anyway, I won't keep yapping about it. That's really about it.
It's fine.
So, yeah.
I already yapped way too much already to begin with. Like, how long have I yapping to begin with? How long have I been yapping? 2 hours and 85 minutes! I've been yapping for way too long. We didn't even get a chance to play Elden Ring Night Ring yet. Okay, we should really play Elden Ring Night Ring. King of Yappa. I wanna keep yapping about this whole entire thing. I'm not gonna lie, because we have Asmongold literally talking about this whole entire thing. But like maybe next time I'll probably talk about it. But like honestly, Parasurfer as a person, he's not a really bad person. He's actually a good person. He has a genuine passion about this whole entire gaming community. I'm totally fine with that. It's just that the only problem is that like the fact is just that like he actually did some problems. He did cause a problem. It's just that like people hating on him, the fact that he doesn't really acknowledge them, and he said like he's actually in the rights for actually talking about that misrepresentation. And what's crazy is the fact that he's quadruple down on this whole entire thing from the very beginning. And honestly, Shay, this triggers my personal trauma. Oh, what kind of PTSD are you talking about? And honestly, I don't. I don't know, man. This whole entire thing really just feels off to me. The fact that we are talking about this whole entire thing after 10 months, 10 months, dude, of this whole initiative. What the hell? And what's even crazy is the fact that like people are more mad, and they are right for being mad about this. Is the fact that like he acts like he doesn't actually even involve this whole entire damage. Literally, it felt like he doesn't even actually acknowledge that he's actually a part of this whole entire scenario. Even though he did actually play a role when there's actually 1.2 million views on his first video about stop killing games that was 11 months ago. Oh, I've dealt with one as well. Nope, not part of friend group now. Oh, I've dealt with my own part of software. Oh, you mean like narcissistic people? It's okay. I think those kind of people are actually there in general to begin with. Excuse me. But yeah, this sucks. Honestly, this sucks. So yeah, you know what? In the end of the day, I feel like if people actually, I'll show you this.
Hello?
I'm not gonna watch this whole entire video, unfortunately. But I do recommend you guys to actually watch this link if you guys have the time to actually go into this whole entire initiative. If you want to have a better understanding or have a better solid opinion about this whole entire thing, I recommend you guys to watch this video. So go ahead and do that. All right. So for now, we are going to actually move away from the very topic. All right. So yeah, I think we should stop with this whole entire topic right now because I think like we've been talking way about this whole entire thing for way too long, and I think I should really just go on and play Elden Ring Night Ring, and I really need to play Elden Ring Night Ring because there's a new boss going around, and I'm very excited for this. Okay, it's just that I'm gonna play alone, unfortunately. Everest is not available.